Human nature is what it is. On that note, welcome to Beer and Philosophy, a combination that I am shocked no one thought of sooner. On August 24th of 2023, Yuval Harari sent out a tweet which caused some controversy. And while I don't necessarily agree with what he had to say, I do find what he said in combination with the responses to it to be fascinating. Although it's also not Twitter anymore, it's X, so he didn't make a tweet, he made an exit? We'll try some things, we'll figure it out. Quote, "From a biological perspective, nothing is unnatural. Whatever is possible is by definition also natural. A truly unnatural behavior, one that goes against the laws of nature, simply cannot exist, so it would need no prohibition. Unfortunately, Mr. Harari, the laws of nature do not determine what is prohibited in society." But I think he knows that. And honestly, does it sound weird to say that everything humans do is natural? Yeah, it really does, especially when there are hard-working Florida men out there every day coming up with new and interesting crimes that they can commit in a Chick-fil-A drive-thru. But no matter what Florida man does, or how much ranch dressing he slathers himself in beforehand, it doesn't change the fact that everything he does is a part of human nature, because human nature is not something that can be rewritten, it's not something that can be changed, it can only be uncovered, because human nature is what it is. With that in mind, we're going to start by breaking down Harari's statements into essentially the full version and a chopped version, because the truth is, I think if you remove this very loaded little extra piece at the end, I think what you're left with is a much more digestible thought that most people would probably ponder and end up agreeing with. Of course, having people agree with you does nothing to drive engagement or sell books. The incentives of controversy on engagement-driven social media platforms is something that we can never ignore. And that includes both this example and the responses below it. To break down the chopped version, this individual thought, a truly unnatural behavior simply cannot exist. Is this true or false? Do we agree or disagree? I say that you should interrogate this on your own, no matter what I have to say at the end of this, because the interrogation of that belief is, one of those things you should start figuring out on your own. But I do personally operate under the belief that, yes, everything humans do is natural. I think that's the best way to approach life in our current society as it stands, if that makes sense. I am open to other arguments, but I think that that is the best thing to believe, even if I don't like believing it. And again, the reason I wanted to break this down into the regular version and the chopped version is that without that little bit at the end, I think most people would agree with that. Humans are naturally occurring on Earth. Therefore, anything humans do is also therefore naturally occurring. Once again, no matter how much ranch dressing you're slathered in while you do it. And I think a large portion of the people leaving their own examinations below this actually would agree with that. I could be wrong, but it seems like the comment section kind of just very quickly, especially after Peterson got involved, devolved into just listing off the most heinous crimes as evidence that things humans do can be unnatural, because heinous crimes must be unnatural. But here's something else to ponder with that, though. Perhaps, and brace yourself because this will be the thesis of the video, your life here, where we are now, on this world that we have been given but did not choose, requires you to have two simultaneous thoughts in your head living side by side. That whatever humans do is natural, no matter how heinous, no matter how horrible, no matter how funny, no matter how ridiculous, is natural if it is done by humans. However, that does not mean, and this is that second simultaneous thought, that does not make any behavior humans do okay. When one of those heinous crimes is committed, we expect our justice system to respond. They have an entire penal code that is just listing off all the worst things that humans can do to each other, because our justice system is required to operate under the belief that humans will do what they will do. Human nature is what it is. But the penal code also has punishments listed out, set aside for those individual horrible things. Two simultaneous thoughts. What humans do is natural, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have to be prohibited. That doesn't make it okay. I mean, unless you have money. In that case, anything you do is okay. I mean, after all, this is America. I was disappointed in the comment section writing off all the evil things humans do as unnatural, because there was this assumption that natural means good. And it doesn't. And that's disappointing. But do you agree or disagree? Are you having a beer with this or not having a beer? Do you think human nature is what it is? Or is human nature not that? And what would that not that even be if you were to, say, examine this on your own time and come up with your own theories to disagree with me, which I would love to see in the comments below. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.